Now, one of the key things that we want to look at is system events. So system events is basically simple. It has multiple things. It shows the transition event, the time where the capacity was paused, turned on, so on. The state of the capacity. So there are multiple states of the capacity like active, inactive, manually resumed, overloaded, not overloaded, rejected, interactive delays with surge protections. It was rejected if there was a capacity manually paused and so on. And you have a reason. So what was the reason here? So capacity stage reason like that. So the state is always active, inactive, deleted, overloaded and so on. And the interactive delay, all rejected was all the change reasons. So this is what you need to ensure, you need to understand. And I'll pin the link. Metrics app has all this content that you can go through, and I'll pin this link in the description in which ways. Now you have a table. Now this matrix is basically very self-explanatory. And if you have the item kinds here, you can select all the item kinds that you want to. You want to look at a lake house, warehouse, and so on. So there's a filter. It takes a while to open these filters up, but it tells you what you want to look at. If you're specifically looking at any specific item here, like data set, copy job, agents, and so on, you can select that. And then you have optional columns that you want to showcase the failed count, rejected count, and so on. For now, I have everything that I've selected, but you can select as per your own choice. Now here what it does is I have just kept the fields similar to by the lowest capacity, but if I switch this to highest capacity, you will see a different picture here. So let's give it a few seconds so that it showcases the workspace. So if you see, I have the workspaces, so I'll just show it by the highest number of CUs consumed. So if you see here, so workspace tells you which workspace the item belongs to. Item kind is what item it was. Was it a data agent? Then item name, it tells me which item it was. Then the CUs, this is the capacity unit processing time in seconds, and you can sort it out with the way it did. And if you click on this, it tells you what operations it performed. Did it use the AI query, it used the interactive read via proxy, and so on. So it tells me where the capacity is consumed. So whenever I'm using agents, it's always going to be the AI query. But if I look at the SQL database here, so on the SQL DB, it'll be a different story altogether. So since I'm hovering over the SQL query, it will take some while to create a report tooltip. Now see, if you see, there's not much operations, but it has consumed the usage. So this is where the SQL database are on, and it consumes from a capacity continuously. So you need to be very aware how you are going to use the SQL databases, because SQL usage consumptions are higher as compared to the other ones as well, because they are continuously running at the backend. So if you see, I have a SQL DB everywhere. So here again, I have the Synapse notebook. If you're executing notebooks, if you're executing lakehouses, it will tell you how the consumption of the particular lakehouse, warehouse, or any item is over a period of time. So this report tool tips are very helpful for you. So again, so if you see, if I'm reading a one leg iteration, it will tell me which is the particular duration and it is billable. Then you have the duration. So duration is the processing time in seconds. Then you have the users, how many users have been using that item, then the rejected count and so on. So rejected count is basically total of operations rejected for item. The failed would be the same, the failed operations for item. Invalid is the invalid operations for item. In progress would be, any items that are in progress at this point in time. This is very helpful when you are running the monitoring jobs and you want to understand how the in progress items are. Successful count is successful operations. Then you have the virtualized item and virtualized workspace. So virtualized item tells you, like for example, any items that are used by Copilot. If you're using Copilot inside your lakehouse, warehouse, or you're using Copilot by Power BI, it will show you false, or true. So if you see here, I have a Power BI session service. So here it is true because I was using Power BI Copilot in this, and so on. And the virtualized workspace will be again the workspace that consumes the CUs. And then you have the item size in GB. It tells you it's specifically for your data sets. So this helps you understand what your data sets are and what is the size of your data sets. And then you have the overloaded minutes if there are any. Then you have the stop count and the performance delta. So if you see, I have all the data sets here. I have the overloaded minutes for a data set. Then my performance delta was negative here, and the billing type. So this is how you can look at your system event. So this is very important when you look at your system events over a period of time on the capacity. Again, just a reminder, if you're new to the channel, if you are continuing to watch this to the end, it is going to be very helpful for you. I'm explaining each and every details of this tab, and this will help you to scale up your capacities or understand and monitor your capacities. And for people who are new, please don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and show me some love.